There we go. Okay. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? I'm James.
I'm Chip.
And yes, sir. That is Chip. I know it's been a while. It's been a minute. I've had some things going on and whatnot. Chip has definitely had some shit going on. As you may be able to see, he's all slinged up right there. Somebody needs to teach him how to back up a tractor.
Oh,
Anyhow, so anyhow, like I said, it's been a while since we've been on. Couple things that you see, I finally have my US Arc shirt. My new one came in. I don't know where my older ones are, but anyhow, please support US Arc. Once again, not trying to be pushy, not trying to bully anybody, but doesn't matter what you're keeping. It really doesn't matter what kind of reptiles, amphibians, whatever that you have. You should definitely become a member, donate, or spread the word. All the above to the people that are supporting this channel. Thank you. We appreciate it. Like I said, I apologize. It's been a while since we made a video. But once again, thanks for the support. Please subscribe, share the videos, hit the like button, hit the little bell, all that good stuff. Chip, you want to?
Yeah. Before we get started, I just want to let everybody know this might not be as an exciting video. A little over a week ago, I had a catastrophic injury at work. Pretty much almost killed me. Got out of surgery earlier this week. Going to have more surgeries. I'm on high dose antibiotics and painkillers. Still in a lot of pain. Painkillers don't really work. So if you notice me not being as excited, words not matching up quite right, just bear with me here. I wanted to do this video. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. A work injury. I'm sitting down. Not exactly loopy out of it, just kind of run down and tired and in pain. But lots of important stuff we got to talk about today, and I'll throw it back to James.
I guess part of what I want to talk about is community standards, and a whole lot of there's a whole lot of stuff that we may cover. We may even, who knows, we start talking about genetics or some shit. Who knows? But there's been something on my mind, and some of y'all may have already seen it or whatever. But I don't want to say it's a rumor because I believe it's already been made. Yep. But the talk is about how there's going to be, like that show that was on Netflix, the Tiger King, or whatever the fuck it was called. We're going to have now the Snake King or Reptile King. Well, one or the other. I forget which one is actually going to be called, but it's one of those two. And we all see, as entertaining as the Tiger King was, is that what it was called? Tiger King?
Yes,
Lion
it was
King?
Tiger King. Yeah,
Some
it was
shit.
Tiger King. It was centered around Joseph Maldonado and the Wynnewood Zoo.
But either way, I mean, we as entertaining as it was, I believe we all saw how big of a shit show it was, and how it made those people in that industry and in that hobby look like everybody's batshit crazy. I'm anybody's that's interested in reptiles and stuff. Anytime there's something on TV, you probably tune in. I know I do, and just to see what it's about. And I can't think of a show that's ever been televised that had anything to do with reptiles that was positive, that showed our community in a good light. It's just horrible. Hold on, excuse me, I'm sorry. there. Was never we've never been put in a good light. So we all look like a bunch of dipshits. People who watch those shows and then they see people like us that we actually are into reptiles and stuff. They think we're crazy and everything. So now there's rumor about this show, and the star of the show is going to be Chip's boy, Tom Crutchfield. It's my issue with that is, well, I don't have an issue necessarily. I just don't think my issue is that I don't feel as though that is going to help our community at all. Not even one little bit. I think it's going to be as big of a shit show or even bigger shit show than the Tiger King. And I just, not really looking forward to it at all. What's your thoughts on this, Chip?
Well, pretty much the same thing. And the problem that I have with this is, if I'm wrong about any of this, I will come out and publicly apologize, but I'm almost positive I am not. We have had numerous documentaries, television shows, anything that is on a Netflix or a primetime TV channel or a cable channel that has to do with anything about what we do. They do not post it in a positive light. There is so many YouTube channels out there that post our hobby in a great light, but nobody cares about that because the people that watch those YouTube channels are like-minded people. Netflix and regular TV is cast for a broader audience. What sells to a broader audience but shock, awe, and controversy? The person that this documentary is centered around has made 2 other interviews on a network television show. Many people have seen them, Locked Up Abroad and a Nat Geo interview. Neither one of those put our hobby in a positive light. Now, I don't care what the argument is, whether it was true, false, indifferent, whatever. If you truly care about our hobby, you know what's going on right now. You decline interviews, because, especially from large-scale platforms, because they will twist it. It doesn't matter if you have the right intention. It doesn't matter that they will sit there while they're interviewing and telling you this is what it's going to be about. You know it's not going to be that. They will twist everything. It's for ratings, for shock, for awe. This is why Nerd turned down interviews. This is why Bob has turned down interviews, and a number of other reputable people. This certain individual likes being in the spotlight, likes being in, does not care of the consequences to other people, never has, never will. When this person has been politely confronted about information, inaccuracies, factual arguments, that person immediately goes off and says, I started the hobby. I have forgotten more about reptiles than you. Doesn't matter your qualifications and your experience, and you might actually be smarter than him. The fact is, this person has got such a chip on their shoulder that they do not take any new information in because they are stuck in 1975. And they are all knowing and all powerful. They've had books written about it. This person is a fame junkie. That's all it is. There is no positivity coming from this individual. It's all about him in the spotlight. And it always has been, it always will be. The Locked Up Abroad episode might have been true. And we all know that. It was public knowledge. You went to prison. You smuggled animals. You did all this. It is public knowledge in the community what you have done. Stolen World. All of these books, everybody knows your history. But to go out there and publicly tell the story and not try and shine a positive light or anything about it and just keep going because you're getting fame and recognition is absolutely horrible. Right now, we are under so much damn scrutiny. This is just icing on the cake. For anybody thinks this is going to be a good idea, and people defending this person, oh, you don't know this, he has so much knowledge. Yeah, I'm sure he has so much knowledge, but there's a lot more people that have more knowledge than him. He has not been active in the reptile community for many years. He has been stuck in his own little world and doing his own thing and spewing the same info that has been debunked years ago. But you cannot argue with the man because he has been there since the beginning. You can't argue with a forefather of the reptile community, no matter how wrong he is. And it is disgusting the progress that we have made in the reptile community and the new information that has came out. I have seen this man go after somebody that lives in Indonesia and knows animals and lives with them every day. I have seen this man totally try and publicly humiliate him while he sits in his little homestead in Florida, surrounded by his little group of people, being so out of touch because he thinks he's king of the world in the reptile community. I have no respect for the man. He has blocked me on Facebook. I have brought up peer review articles. I have brought up people that have lived there to him, and he will not hear it. He is right. Everybody else is wrong. You cannot change his opinion, and he doubles down on everything. And if you think this show is going to bring a positive light to any of it, the minute he brings up his opinions, it is going to be strewn and broadcast in just the most horrific light possible. These animals are misunderstood, and there's been a lot more research done, but he is more about fame than anything else. He claims to be about the animals, but anybody with half a brain in their head that has watched him and watched his interviews, he doesn't support the damn hobby. He supports himself and talks about me. That's it. And I'm sick of him. And I don't care who defends him. I've watched this man publicly chastise people for bringing new facts to light about animals. He is not the expert to end all experts. There is a handful of old school herpers that are way smarter than him. He is a smuggler. He is a reptile keeper. Is he good what he does? Obviously, he propagates animals. He's done great with iguanas. He's done great with a lot of different animals. I am not saying that, but his methods and tactics and his closed-mindedness is not what we need in the community right now. He is not open to talk to anybody unless it benefits him.
Okay. It's not that I don't agree with you. You all right there, buddy?
Yeah.
Arm feeling all right? You good?
Yeah. I'm good.
Okay. My whole thing about it is you know, like I said earlier, majority of the people, I mean, I'm sure like when it is, when we're able to watch it, you know, a lot of reptile people, by all means, they're gonna tune in and check it out and whatnot. But the majority of the people that are going to be watching it are going to be people that probably, you know, don't keep reptiles and everything. And I think it's just going to add to issues that we have, because I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to be positive. It may be positive for him and his camp because of notoriety, the money, or the extra fame that he gets or whatever. But I just don't think it's going to be good for the community at all. Correct me if I don't want to say things that are wrong or anything like that. But I mean, you look at all the shit that happened in Florida. I don't recall seeing anything from him. I'm not saying that he didn't do anything. Uh,
He
but
didn't
I don't.
publicly rally. He might have done something, but he didn't publicly rally to show. And for the man that is the king of iguanas, literally, there is no one on the planet more experienced with breeding iguanas, iguanamorphs, captive breeding iguanas. He is the father of iguanas. He is the guy that started all of the iguana stuff in the entire world. He is the forefront of iguanas.
I think we all agree on that too. And by all means, he didn't have to say anything. He didn't have to do anything. Nobody does. It just seemed kind of weird. It puzzling that somebody like that wouldn't. That was the thing to me. But with when you have all your license, when you have all your paperwork, and at the end of the day, it's not going to really affect you. Maybe just don't, fuck it, whatever. Who cares? It's not going to affect me. You know, I don't know. I don't know. It comes across wrong to me. It does. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't know how others feel about it. But just we had that whole shit show, and from the beginning, it just seemed like it was rigged and everything, and that we weren't going to have a voice. And we're all basically hoping that Kevin's going to get a chance to talk. Phil's going to get a chance to talk. All these certain people, and you would think that Mr. Iguana himself, you would think that he would have something positive to say. Maybe he did try calling in, and he couldn't get in like a lot of us. I doubt it, but I don't know that to be true. That's just my opinion. Anybody besides his camp that thinks that this show is going to be positive for our community, I think you're outside your fucking head. People who know me and that we talk about this stuff, that there's, out of all the shows and all the people, Steve Irwin was probably the most positive person on TV that ever tried to educate people about reptiles. He was probably the most positive when it came to reptiles, and try to put them in a different light, but he was still against people like you and I.
Absolutely.
Most, and I get that,
he was a conservationist, and he didn't believe that any large type reptile, whether it's a retic or a lizard or a crocodilian or even a big iguana, he adamantly did not believe that they should be kept in private hands at all. He wanted to rebuild the natural habitat from where they came from. He was a conservationist, and he wanted the way he did things. This is why I'm glad everybody loves Steve Irwin, but I don't think they quite got the message when it comes to keepers. His message wasn't about everybody should keep these animals. His message was we need to save the habitat, because look at these animals and how beautiful and how smart they are, and they're living beings. And that's what he was showing. He wasn't going into pet stores. He wasn't going into private collections. He was going into natural habitat and interacting with these animals to show how important they are and how much he loved them.
Well, that being said, right there, we're not going to get that kind of positivity out of this show. No. I'll tell you that right now. And then when it comes to, we talk about how we should come together as a community and stuff like that. And we talk about how we should police each other. That's a big issue, because how do you do it? Okay. Because if you try to police anybody, they're going to feel like they're being attacked. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So what do you do? My whole thing about it is that everybody has a voice now. I mean, literally. I mean, you look at us. We may not be reaching a lot of people, but everybody has a voice, and we have the technology that we can send our voice out, and everybody and anybody can listen. So it's just like if you hear me say something and it's incorrect, let me know. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get butthurt. You let me know, and we'll change it. We'll fix it. Some people are not going to be like that. You use your platform, or you use your your internet service to do whatever. And if you're saying the wrong shit, it seems like there's some people that, I don't know, it comes across like they're just pulling information out their ass.
Yes.
To either one, make themselves seem like they're more than what they are, or whatever the case may be. Or it could be just that, that's what they actually think. And that's fine. I know there's a lot of stuff. I don't want to say there's a lot of stuff I know, because if I say, well, there's a lot of stuff I know, then it seems like I'm saying that I'm like whatever. And I'm not. I just, there's a lot of stuff that I know and that I've forgotten over the years. And if I try to talk about it, it might get a little twisted. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Just because it's been, there's so much stuff that some of us that have been around a while that we've seen and talked to other people and things we've done and whatever. And maybe that's the case. But how do you police people? You know what I mean? I think we should police each other, especially. Do you just call them out and, hey, you just call them out, hey, you just quit being a dumbass. What do you do?
There's quite a few issues that we still have going on, even after this Florida shut. I'm going to bring up one. There's probably 5 that I want to bring up, but I'm going to bring one up because I have a really good analogy for it. So the big snake keepers, me especially, I love finding out the largest snakes in the world. I try and document that with Stephen Dawson. We try and verify, legitimate large animals, and they're rare. People that say they have a 20-foot snake most likely do not have a 20-foot snake, because they are guesstimating. Unless you measure it on camera, you're not. I don't believe you. I'm sorry. It's really sensational to say I have a 20-foot snake, but right now is really the wrong time to go around in all these groups and say these snakes get 20 feet, these snakes get blah blah blah, this that, because we're being watched. And here's my analogy. I'm sure there's a ton of people in this group that have seen the 70s movie Jaws, the original, right? You've seen it? I've seen it 100 times. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. There's a scene where the mayor is talking to the chief, and they're going over the very first victim report. And the mayor goes over and goes, listen, I don't think you understand. We're talking about the group of people here. You say barracuda, people are like, huh, what? Who cares? You say shark, you got a panic on your hands. It's the same concept. You say garter snake to an everyday person, they're like, yeah, what? You say 20-foot python, and people automatically start freaking out. 20-foot snake. That's not how you go about this stuff. You don't sit there and do shock value right now. You don't talk. I mean, these animals are very misunderstood, and the general public does not know. And to talk about this kind of stuff drives me nuts, because there's no common sense anymore. Stop talking like you're talking to your best friend when you're posting in these groups. We are being watched. Watch what you say and how you say it.
And not just, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I mean, not just that. I mean, we're dealing with reticulated pythons, okay? At least most of us are. They get big. And the thing about it is a 12-foot retic is huge to normal people. It's ridiculous. It's like enormous. We know that these animals get big, this and that, and whatnot, unless you're dealing with, dwarfs, and dwarfism, super dwarf stuff. You know, well, we all know this. So, I just think, it's one of those things where I don't spend a lot of time in venomous groups and venom, and just in that area. But it seems from people that I do know that do that they really police their community extremely hard.
Yes.
And I honestly think that that's where we need to be. Get your feelings hurt. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't, at this point in time, I don't care. It, should we be bringing new people in or whatever? There, if you want to learn and stuff like that, we all, yes, by all means, but, we got to be smart about these things. We need to be smart about who we, sell these animals to. We need to be smart about how we show them and everything. And this is coming from somebody who Chip and I have talked about this a lot. And this is coming from somebody where I've gotten extremely upset about how we have policed each other now, meaning like, we all feed animals, the snakes and everything like that. But back in the day, we posted our feeding pictures. We posted, if you got bit, you posted a picture. And in my head, all this stuff is part of what we do. And we're sharing it with other people that do the same thing. And at first I was like, man, this is horseshit. This is our hobby. This is part of it, but now, it took me a minute, but I get it and I understand. There's things that we got to be careful. We have to be careful about. We can't be doing these things. And at the end of the day, if you get hurt, if you get your feelings hurt, then, go stand in the fucking corner and cry. I think we need to get as tough as they are.
Well, yeah.
Policing our community.
Here's the big gripe I had before my injury. So, I was keeping in contact with Kevin, and I'm talking to a few other guys that are behind the scenes and trying to get a very good plan of attack for the community. It's coming down hard, and it's coming down hard fast. We made it all of maybe 3 to 4 days after the Florida shit happened. Then we stopped rallying. And all I see are people posting pictures of their newest morph. I'm selling my collections. I'm selling this morph. Look at my new morph. Look at all this. I shouldn't, in my mind, as a keeper, I shouldn't be, while all this stuff's going on, shouldn't be going on these large constrictor sites and seeing a majority of sales ads, promotion for your own business ads, and all this other bullshit. Talking about community coming together, that shows me that you don't give a fuck about the animals right now. You are totally oblivious to what's going on. You don't take it serious. And you're looking at them as a dollar sign. I might lose my business. I might lose a sale. I might not be able to transport these animals anymore. Oh no. You know what? That is why we're losing everything. You don't care about the animal. I am sorry. I'm sick of this crap. I do not sit here and have all the animals that I do because I'm trying to make money. I have a day job as a majority. Unless you are Nerd, unless you are Clark, unless you are Jay, you do not have a reptile business. Unless you are registered, paying taxes, and it is your main income that you're feeding your freaking family with, you do not have a reptile business. You are a hobbyist. And making all these silly names and all this other crap is bull crap. You are focused on the wrong part of the animal because you're about to lose your rights for keeping them. And it isn't going to matter whether you got your cool little name and business card or your little Facebook freaking sales ads or your little freaking business page, because none of that's going to matter when you can't even keep these animals anymore. Because all that time and energy that you put into promoting yourself so you can make a dollar or have that notoriety, those politicians are going behind your back and taking every right away for you to be able to keep and handle that animal. And it is disgusting. And I see it across the board. Kevin, people are wanting to attack Jay, and Kevin is getting overwhelmed with all these freaking emails and all this stuff. And I see people threatening politicians. I see people threatening, congressmen and putting all this shit out here. How freaking stupid do you have to be? Why don't you show these animals in a positive light? Why don't you turn to education? That's mostly what I do. Why don't you show what these animals really are? Who gives a shit right now what the next new morph is? Honestly, because it isn't going to matter here in a little bit. You can stare at that pretty $10,000 snake in the cage, freaking eating up whatever, but you're not going to be able to do anything with it. And then when it gets really hard, when the government says, turn them over or put them down, it's not really going to be worth anything at that point because you're not looking at the animal in the right way. It's time to freaking get your head out of your ass, freaking learn how to freaking talk on the internet. These aren't private groups like you think they are. We are being watched. We are being targeted 100%. If you think they aren't targeting us, if you think we aren't being watched, you're freaking out of your mind. And by making idle threats and then just promoting more clutches and promoting more business and all this stuff, get over to USARC, start getting on your platform, showing education about these animals, show what they really are, and stop acting like this is no big deal, because that's what I see. I don't see timelines flooded with positivity about the animals and trying to help keep our rights. And it's like it's all forgotten. All these people are just pushing this new crap still. And it's terrible. It all went out the window. It's all about to come to a head, and nobody is doing a damn thing about it. They want to act like keyboard cowboys and tough guys, spreading misinformation or stuff that makes them look good instead of doing the right thing because your egos or how you think you're smarter than other people or how you want to act tough on the internet, whatever. You're just burying yourself and other people.
Tell you what, that medication got you riled up, buddy. And I agree with you. I agree with Chip 100%. But I do want to say this. Look, if you're a breeder and you breed and stuff like that, you do what you do. Promote yourself, promote your business, sell your animals, be smart about it. Nobody's saying, don't do that. I mean, that's what you do. Do it. But, I applaud Aubrey for what he's done so far,
Absolutely.
Which, I hear that there's going to be, quite a few other ones that are going to go behind him and do that, just not doing it, going to try to stagger it, you know what I mean? Which makes sense, but if you're able, I think that's something awesome to do. Get the community together by doing stuff like that. I just, it comes across totally wrong when you say one thing, but you do something totally different. And people see that, and I think it makes us look like a bunch of fucking idiots. That's just my opinion. So, I mean, I think we need to do better, especially if you have any type of notoriety in this hobby. I think you need to, police yourself as well, especially if we're all going to talk about how we need to do better. Um, and we all can do better. So find ways to, uh, you got to find a happy medium, by all means. And we got to find a way to promote these animals, uh, you know, in the best light that we can. And I honestly, I don't know how we do it without people getting upset, but I think we need to be as hard in our little community as, say, like the venomous community when it comes to policing people and stuff. Um, just because even in our own, in the reptile community as a whole, there's so many people that deal with other reptiles that think that we should not have retics or berms and stuff like that. You know, it's perfectly fine for them to have a ball python, geckos, and turtles, tortoises, and, you know, frogs, and all, you know, that's fine. But they honestly think that people that are in the larger constrictors, that we shouldn't be allowed to keep them. They think people like us are bad for them. You know what I mean? So how do we change their perspective of things? You know, we probably won't, but if we police each other a lot harder and better, maybe they'll be like, hey, you know what? You know, maybe they, you know, I still don't think it's a good idea that people own these large constrictors, but at least they're being smart about it. You know, how they breed, who they sell to, the people that are in their community, getting them, setting them straight, you know, that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know
Well,
what to do, but I think we need to really, that's where we need to go.
well, here's another point, and this is going to sound absolutely silly, but I hope whoever listens to this really gets your ego in check. Step outside of yourself for a minute and listen to me, because this is going to sound ridiculous, but it's absolutely 100% true. There is so many people out there that have no idea about reptiles, no idea about large snakes. The movie Anaconda, as ridiculous as that movie was, you know, a 40-foot snake that's going around eating people. It sold a lot of DVDs. It was in movie theaters, scared the crap out of everybody. Ourselves know it's ridiculous. It knows that doesn't happen. But we're in our own little community where we can look at that and easily brush it off as a joke. There are people out there that truly believe that that's what these animals do. It might have been a fake horror movie, but they automatically, in their heads, think of that movie or snakes on a plane or whatever, and that's how they view these animals. It's 100% true. And if you think it's a joke, I am not joking. I have done educational courses in multiple states through many, many years. And I have heard this from bottom of people's hearts and their fears, that they truly believe that these are how these animals are. And when you're going up against that mentality, you have to hit it at the right angle, because you can't go up to somebody and say, that's ridiculous, that's fake, that's not how these animals are. That goes in one ear and out the other, because all they do is picture a scene in a movie or whatever, and their fears come to light and they're terrified. Or they hear propaganda or whatever, or they see some news article, or they see somebody that comes on clickbait and all this other stuff. And you people have to realize you are not hitting the right approach by being aggressive, by acting like you're better than other people. You are now in your own groups having to present something that is understandable to the general public that has no idea about these animals. Politicians, I don't care what anybody thinks in here, but the general politician doesn't give a flying fuck about our animals. They are being paid by special interest groups. They could give a crap whether it's true, false, right, or wrong. Whoever's putting money in their pocket and pushing their agenda gets their way. So you are not there to try and convince a politician. You can make your phone calls, but you make your phone calls in the right way. You don't use threats. You don't use illogical reason. You don't say that this is my emotional support animal. They don't care. It's here with another analogy, since almost everybody's a dog person, okay? And here's a pit bull analogy. Pit bulls are wonderful animals, but they have such a horrible stigma behind them. If you're in a pit bull community and you see someone posting a picture of a pit bull snarling its teeth with a giant chain around its neck with its owner standing there acting macho, and the dog looks terrifying, will you support that? Or are you going to show the picture of the pit bull cuddling with your kids on the couch watching TV? It's the same concept. The pit bull gets a horrible stigma, but there's bad people out there that are promoting the dog in the wrong way. They might not be mistreating the animal, but if they go around saying, yeah, my dog will kill you in a heartbeat, that they don't hear that dog's protecting your family. They hear that dog's a killer.
Yep.
It's the same concept with these large animals, and you people need to get it through your head. These animals are wonderful. They're smart. They get big, but they're misunderstood. They're not an invasive species. We all understand this. We all understand the bullshit that's going on. The problem I have is nobody's educating people in the right way. Your macho attitudes, your egos, and everything else is getting in the way of hitting this in the right way. Understand that you have got to approach this like someone has a terrifying fear of something that they don't understand. And you're going to have to take baby steps with them and not just try and punch them in the face. Your enemy is going to be within. You can self-destruct really easily. And I have educated so many people over the years, and how I do it is very specific, because while you're focused on the morph, the pretty animal, the dollar amount, how you can keep them, how you can take them outside, how good it is with your kid, the person next door doesn't give a shit about that. They see an animal that they're terrified, and all the propaganda they've seen over media over 25 years has gotten in their heart that these animals are evil and shouldn't be owned as pets. So you don't go with that person saying they're stupid, they're wrong, they're ignorant. You have to educate them. You have to go about it a certain way. You have to realize that, just like James said, great, you have a business, promote your animals, but maybe take the energy right now. I'm not saying stop forever, but right now, take all that time and energy you are into promoting the newest morph, your business, and go and educate your neighbors. Go and educate properly. Don't talk about how this incident happened or that incident. Little by little, use your voice in the right way. Show how good these animals can be, how to keep them properly, how they're not going to hurt people. Don't be stupid, especially people that have a voice. Kevin right now is so overwhelmed and frustrated. I haven't talked to him in a while because he's getting bombarded. There is a lot of other people that are tired of stuff going on, and we're educators, but everybody's got their head up their ass right now, and we're about to lose it all. And you guys are not taking this as seriously as you think. It's a lot worse than you can even imagine. And it's only going to get more and more problems unless we start acting right.
And the thing about it is that, you know, when all of a sudden we started making all these posts, you know, US, you know, posts and everything like that, there was a lot of people, not everybody, but there was a lot of people that are like, oh, you know, they keep making these posts and everything. It's that important. And the fact that we kind of slowed down on this shit, we should be pushing this shit every single day. And if you think, oh, here they're bullying again, if you're that sensitive and you don't, well, Jesus, if you're that sensitive, just go away. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm being a dick right now. I don't, you know, whatever. If you don't realize how important it is, then maybe you don't need to be in a certain group, or maybe you don't even need to be keeping the damn animal. I don't know. I don't want to be like that, but to not see the importance of it, and by people making posts about joining USARK or donating or whatever, how that gets on your nerve. Just keep scrolling if it's that big a deal. You don't even have to, you know what I mean? Or that you feel like you're being bullied. Jesus Christ. If you think that's being bullied, I mean, I'd hate to see it if you really were. I mean,
exactly.
And like I, earlier that we were talking about this show that's I don't know when it's going to air or anything like that. Nothing positive. I don't give a shit what they say. There's nothing positive that's going to come about it, because the majority of the people that are going to be are watching it are going to be people that aren't us, that don't like they're the normal crowd. And they're going to be, there's going to be a whole lot of shock value, fear mongering, and and it's just, look what I did. Look, I've done this over the years and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And, well, fucking here, have a cookie. I don't, it's not going to somehow put the reptile world in a good, positive bubble. It's not, it's just not. It's going to be a shit show. It is going to be 100% a shit show. And not trying to just keep repeating, but if we keep repeating ourselves, maybe somebody will listen. We definitely need to police our community a lot harder, and trying to get everybody on page on that's going to be difficult. I don't think that we should just, go off on people. There's a time and place for all that, but we got to be better about when you see new people and you see new people doing things, there's a way to fucking talk to them. You can be firm, but also be professional and be civil about things. When you see people do shit and damn good and well that they should know better, them go to fuck off on. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's no, people like that should know better. Plain and simple. New people have to be taught. But they need to know this ain't a fucking game. Either you're going to get with the program or you're not going to be allowed to be here, because we have people watching us, and you either going to get with the program and do what is needed, or you can take your horse shit elsewhere. That's where I'm at with this. And I think that's what we need to do, because I'm extremely sick of it. So basically what I don't know, man, I can go on and on about this shit. And I mean, it's just like some other people making videos and stuff. Make videos. Let's spread the word. Fucking educate people. That's what we're supposed to be doing. I know when I got into this years and years ago, it wasn't just for my education purpose. I wanted to learn as much as I can so I can share it with other people, even if they weren't like-minded. Because I think these animals are amazing, but if you're gonna make videos, hell, we've already learned. Look, if you're gonna make a fucking post, you need to be right about your information, plain and simple. And then if you get called out on it, and if it's right, if you need to be called out on it, then don't cry about it. It is what it is. You made a mistake, fix it, or just look like a fucking idiot. That's on you. That's your, totally up to you. All this fucking show, I can't get it out of my head. Cannot get this show out of my head. It's going to be a shit show.
This is very, very, and a lot of people don't know me. And frankly, that's fine. I've been around longer than most people. And I'm not breeder. I never claimed to be a breeder. I am an educator. I am a collector. I am passionate about reptiles. I've been doing this a very, very long time. I have owned just about everything you could imagine species-wise. I don't care about morphs in all big reality. I don't. They're not important to me. I am taking my time out of my day to do this video with James because this is very important. I have a family. I have 2 young daughters. I have other animals. I have obligations. I am seriously injured, worse than I have been ever. I am drained physically, emotionally. I have a long road ahead of me. But this is so important to me that I take my time to do this because people are not getting it. They truly are not getting how bad this is. I loved education. I went to college and started education very early on with reptiles and fish. I am very passionate about it. I don't poke my nose in a lot of things. I got out of the community for a while because I hated the way it was heading. James here is actually the one that brought me back in. I was completely off of social media reptile sites, period. I've never not had reptiles. But people really have to open their eyes that we need science and education. You don't need bullying. You don't need propaganda. I don't care if you think you're right. You have the world at your fingertips right now. You can look up all the actual facts. There's stuff that there's so many different angles that you could go at right now. Right now, we cannot import any large constrictor from the countries of their origin. And the countries of their origin are being decimated. And deforestation is happening. They're losing by thousands of acres a day. These animals in the wild might not be around. There's so many animals in the pet trade right now that their wild habitat no longer exists. There's types of axolotls is a really good example. If anybody knows what that is, their native range up until they just found some wild ones just recently, but for 20 years, their native habitat was completely gone. There was no more wild axolotls. They were gone.
Yep.
So that's an angle that you can take, but be responsible at it, because once you lose these animals, they're gone forever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your emotional opinion is. What you have to do is logical, scientific facts. You don't act macho. You don't do something stupid. You don't do something that can scare people. You can put all your personal logic behind it, but doesn't make it right. Doing stupid activities with these animals because you can does not make it right. And supporting misinformation, here's a really good example. We'll talk about the berms in Florida. This is really something that people should take home, of how any media does not fucking matter. And I apologize for the language. Python Hunters, season 1. Sean, Greg Graziani, and I totally apologize for the third guy. He's a ball python breeder down in Florida. If you're Michael Cole, sorry, Michael.
Cole, yeah.
Sorry, I forgot your name. I apologize. Don't hate me for it. I don't want a nasty PM. But the very first season, Sean, who is a decorated scientist, biologist, they went out and they proven in that season that these wild berms in the Everglades was not from people letting go of their pets. They proved that these pythons could not survive in certain conditions. They went out and did all of this stuff on camera with Florida Fish and Wildlife officer even showing the facility that got blown over in the hurricane and where everything happened. They proved without a shadow of a doubt that this was not caused by pet release and what these animals could do. That was filmed many years ago. But the stupid propaganda overshadowed it. And to this day, when you hear people talk about the pythons in Florida, they think that it's because people release their pets. When they proved it without a shadow of a doubt with genetic testing, research, tagging, all of it, that wasn't true. So if you think that any of this stuff that's coming out on Netflix or large scale media is going to be positive or going to help us, you're wrong. If people contact you for interviews that are from these big organizations, deny it, because they will turn your words around. They will do whatever it takes just to make ratings, just to make $1. They don't care about your animals. They don't care about facts. They don't care about anything. They want sensationalism. That's it. So please use your head, people.
This is what I've been trying to tell everybody, and I don't know. It's fear mongering, because it reaches way more people, because, once again, like I've said over and over and over again, the reptile community is really, really small. And then the large constrictor people in the community is even fucking smaller, regular, we're regular people too, but I mean, people that are not in the reptiles, they're the ones that watch this shit and think it's extremely factual. And, it's horrible. It's fucking horrible. We got to be smart. We got to be smarter than what we've been. We need to be harder. We need to be meaner. We need to police our community way harder.
Absolutely.
Hell, even other communities. I mean, I don't know. We need to. I mean, Jesus fuck. I don't know the how to explain the how serious things have been. They've always been like this. They've been like this for a while now, and it's not going to get any better. So everybody needs. I mean, we just got to do we just got to do it. If you get your feelings hurt, you get your fucking feelings hurt. I'm not at the point where I want to start calling out names, but God damn it.
If you guys don't think this is serious, go into the California statute right now. California. You can no longer breed rabbits. You cannot have a pet rabbit and breed it. It's really hard to have a pet rabbit right now. A bunny rabbit, a pet rabbit, something that eats carrots and sits in a cage and cuddles with your kids that can't harm anything. You cannot do that in California now. That is a rabbit, a fluffy, cute little bunny. If you don't think that's serious, they did that to a rabbit, and now they're coming after the snakes nationwide. They're doing that to a rabbit. You don't think it's going to happen to a snake?
Man, I've been preaching this, that it's not just going to stop with the large, it's not stopping with large constrictors. It's going to eventually go to the ball python people. It's going to the gecko, the bearded drag, all this shit. Then they're going to be coming for your fucking goldfish, everything. I mean, PETA and HSUS, they have a lot of fucking money.
They have unlimited funds.
Unlimited, exactly. And I'm telling you, all that bullshit you see on TV, they try to make you feel sad and all this other bullshit, and you give them money, don't fucking do it. And you need to let everybody else know, if they want to donate, if they want to help animals, they need to, make sure it's a no-kill shelter and go help out their local shelter. That's what they need to do. If you want to give money to them, give money to the U.S. ARC, PETA and HSUS, that's, no. horrible. And the bad thing about it is that these are the people that are giving the money to these politicians. And, well, why are you, people get upset about us making posts about USARK or talking about USARK and everything like that. It's because USARK doesn't have that kind of fucking money. They don't have the funds. They don't have the backing, so it's up to us to do it, But hey, you're fucking being a bully. Fucking idiots, Oh my god, like this show. Oh my god, this fucking show's gonna be horrible, people.
Yeah,
and
it's gonna be the nail in the coffin.
I want to go back to the I don't want to be spreading rumors or anything like that. But like I said, I don't recall seeing him. I do not recall seeing him. I think somebody told me that he may have made a post on social media.
He did. He made a post, but it wasn't in depth. It said, go on to FSW, and all it said was go on to Florida Fish and Wildlife and voice your opinion. That's all it said.
So you got to understand, like, where, say, my frustration comes from, because it looks a certain way. It comes across all wrong, all fucking wrong.
It's all about perception.
They're banning iguanas. And you're the fucking iguana king, plain and simple. And Mr. fucking Iguana should have been all over the fucking place. I know Ty called in. I know Ty made posts. I know Ty did, what he could do, but what, where the fuck, where was he? And this show is supposed to be good. It might be entertaining to non-reptile people, which I'm sure is going to be entertaining as fuck to these people. It's going to be a shit show, just like the Tiger King shit, But it's not gonna be good for us at all.
Everybody can go on to YouTube and find the Locked Up Abroad episode about Tom Crutchfield. He didn't lie in it, and I'm not expecting him to lie. That was his life. That's what happened to him. He ended up in jail. But he went in depth on how he brought animals into this country, how it all started out and what he did, and how customs searched him, and how he had a king cobra in a duffel bag, and how his buddy smuggled tarantulas. And he detailed every single thing on how he brought these animals in. People aren't going to take away what you think they're going to take away. Somebody says, oh my God, that dude brought a king cobra in a duffel bag on a plane into the United States. This guy did this so many times. There's nothing positive about that. And in that interview, he said he is the sole reason why there is bearded dragons and everything else in the hobby today, that he is responsible for his actions and he paid the price for it. But, people are enjoying these animals now. People aren't looking at it that way, like, oh, thank God for Tom Crutchfield. He went to jail so we could have these cool animals. No, they're not looking at it that way. They're like, this crazy motherfucker brought dangerous animals into the country, and now they could be at my neighbor's place. I'm scared to death for my kids. This is what I'm saying. Media interviews are not going to post anything in a positive light. You should not do them. You should not. No. It's just like when they contacted Nerd, every single employee and Kevin denied it. You deny. I don't care if you want to be on TV. I don't care if you want to be famous. If you care at all about your animals, do not give 1 second of your time to these producers, ever.
It's one of those things where it's, you can say, yeah, because of him, we have these animals, and that's a good thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, what else are you doing to try to spread positivity? That's my whole thing about it. Okay. So people are able to enjoy these animals because of you, and you paid the price. You went to prison and this and that. We all know that's what happened, and okay, yay. But where's your positivity coming from? You know, where's it at? Where the fuck is it? Um, why did you bring them over? Is it just a money sign? Did you see the, you know what I mean? Like it, what the fuck are you doing to try to show these animals in a better way and show that they do make good pets, this and that. I mean, I don't see that.
Over 40 years. He's been doing this well over 40 years. The dude has had ample time to do so much for the community. So much. And the dude has not shown anything. So another instance, and I'm sure I'll get a message or he'll see it, but you know what? If I'm lying, I'm dying. I'm not spreading false information here. He had a croc monitor bite him severely. He could have lost a limb. It is a very unfortunate accident that happened. He posted pictures of his injury. Whatever the context, what he said, I cannot remember whether he was defending the animal or not. That's not the point. He posted the picture, and his hand and arm look horrific. It would make somebody throw up. It is so scary looking. You go to Jane Doe down the road, and you show them a picture of a croc monitor and a bearded dragon, and you show them that hand, all they're going to see is a lizard bit that guy and cause that much damage. They're not going to know the context that it is one of the largest lizards on the planet with the biggest teeth. It was a wild caught animal and he made a mistake. They're going to be like, my neighbor has a big bearded dragon. What if it bites my kid's finger off? It's all about perception. Does this shit happen? Absolutely. I'm sorry it does, but people end up in the hospital every day from cat and dog bites. Cat scratch fever is a real thing. It's a funny name and a great song, but we don't hear about the kids that die from sepsis because the outside cat scratched them and they got a freaking infection and they ended up dying from it. You don't hear about that stuff. You don't hear about, you know, my kid was handling the Chihuahua and lost his pinky finger because the Chihuahua went apeshit. You don't hear about that.
And you're not.
It's not. It's all about perception
and money. You think about
money.
You think about the amount of money that is being made on dog and cat food, dog and cat products.
Billion.
All right. Exactly. So we're too small. We're too small of community. You know, we don't make that kind of money. So we're up a shit creek, basically. And we're going to have to constantly push to fight, you know, constantly, nonstop. You know, we cannot just let it go. They have to constantly do this. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. And I don't know what else to do, except that, you know, I'm not looking forward to any of this shit, at all. I'm really a loss of words. I mean, I've said all I can say about it. You know, all I can do is I can cuss some more about it because that's how it makes me feel. That's about it. And I know there's some other stuff that is there anything else you want to talk about, man?
I mean, I can go on and on about the same stuff. I'm going to reiterate a lot of things. It's just driving me nuts in our own groups. In our own groups, the decision-making skills for posting stupid shit, threatening politicians, making stupid jokes. It might be a joke to everybody else in the group, but I'm going to stress this again. People are watching. people are watching. It doesn't matter if the group is set to private. It doesn't matter if you think that nothing's going to happen. It's actual fact. People are watching, taking screenshots, copying, recording everything that are against us. Use your head. Stop being idiots. Post scientific facts, educational information, positivity, stuff that is good. Stop acting macho. Stop it. Stop acting like you can muscle your way through things. Stop acting like you're better than things. You are not. I am an educator with permits and fucking schooling background, and I still do not have that much power. But I'm smart enough to know what to say and what to post. And people need to realize that you are fighting against a big, big entity. And by acting tough, by acting macho, by beating your chest, by thinking that you can win this by threats, you're nobody. You're literally nobody. And compared to everything else, it's just more ammo for them to use. And it needs to stop.
Yep.
Right now, it's all about positivity, education, and the right information, not opinion. Stop trying to boost yourself and think about others.
Scott, I agree with you 100%. I don't know. I'm sure you've seen it, Chip, the US Art Bolin's Python raffle.
Yep.
Have you seen that? Very cool. Very cool. Buy some tickets. How cool will that be? But buy some tickets. You know, I think everybody should buy some tickets. When you see that post, try to share it. You know, if you're strapped for money, at least share it. Share the post and, you know, help it reach, you know, more people. We got to be everybody. We need to be positive. We got to come together. We keep talking about that because it's true. We need to come together, but there's too many dipshits. There's too many people that don't want to listen. There's too many people that think they're right. Basically, we all need to swallow our pride and you know, check our egos and stuff like that. And nobody's better than the next person or whatever. And we do need to come together. We need to help each other. We need to help others. We need to educate. We need to be able to take our criticism. We need to, you know, like I said, we need to police in the Retic community or large constrictor community in a whole. We got to police each other harder. We got to become hard asses. Plain and simple. We got to get rid of all the fucking dipshits. Plain and simple. Either we make them listen and we educate, because that's what we're supposed to do. We educate and hopefully they learn to do better, or we got to get rid of them. The people that have been around and know better, but they think they're above the law or better than everybody else. Look, if they're not gonna get with the program, then we gotta fucking get rid of them. Plain and simple, you know.
Educating the right way too. Educating the right way, and I can't stress this enough. As a person who has educated people for many years, you have to do it the right way, not your opinion. Opinion means dog shit. You know, it's like an engineer that's gone rogue. If an engineer thinks this is the way it's done, but the 12 other engineers have tested it and shown it that it works, it really doesn't matter if you think. They've proven it works. So you probably should get on board with the proven techniques. Your opinion doesn't mean shit. It's got to be the right way. And it's not time to get likes for your business page. It's not time to get likes for your videos. It's time to come together and get people on the same page and show the good of this hobby, the good of the collector. I will not call you guys professionals. You guys do not have business and livelihoods writing on this. There are some out there, but the majority of you are collectors or hobbyists. And you need to understand that education is key, not bullshit.
I'm right there with you, man. So look, how are you feeling, buddy? Are you okay?
I'm not. I've not been okay the whole time, but I'm doing this anyway. Come on now.
Lauren, yes. Lauren says, do we need to start compiling articles and papers and putting them in one place for people to reference or make a group or something? We need to do that. This is the thing, though. This would be the thing, because over the years, like, I'm not bragging this because it doesn't make me better than anybody, but the Retic Nation. Okay. So that page, I've been admin since day one, right? Been there since day one, just like a lot of people have. Not a big deal. But my point is this, is that we have pinned stuff up. Okay. We have pinned stuff up, certain things, you know what I mean? Like care sheets, you know, all kinds of shit. And then on top of that, you know, you got to search. You can go up there and you can type in just about anything. The problem is that people, it's not like back when we had to do our own fucking research, because there was very little people to talk to. Now it's easier just to ask and not go look. So the whole thing about it is that yes, we should do that. We probably need to pin some stuff and everything like that. But they're not going to go look. We're just going to have to tell them. All right, yes, you know, good question. But it's go look over here, you know, and they probably still won't do that and still ask the same fucking question, because that's just the way people are. And I'm almost at the point to where people who do that, just get them the fuck out of here, because they're not going to listen. That's how it come across to me. If you're not going to listen to directions, then you're not going to listen to anything else. So bye. That's my opinion on it. Like I said, I'm at the point where just everybody got to be a hard ass, you know. Try to be a nice hard ass, I guess, if that's even a fucking thing. You know, they don't want to fucking read. You're 100% correct. I don't like reading, but my whole thing about it is, if you're passionate about it, then reading it'll be interesting. You know, I don't like reading at all, but I didn't have a problem at the beginning reading and everything like that, because I was passionate about this, and that was the only way I was going to learn anything. But anyhow, then, you know, I'm not sure, Devin. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you read that? When
I'm reading it right now. I've got it uploaded on my screen, but then you've gone public, and I'm kind of against any social shit because this kind of quiet stuff. Can you rephrase that question, please? It's kind of confusing the way you worded that, and I understand, you know, my typing ability is kind of out the window. I'm a lefty, and I've only got my right now.
And I don't like to read.
I'm not trying to put you down or any. Yeah, I'm not trying to put down anything, but can you kind of reword that question for us to answer? Because I can take that 3 different ways, and I would like to just answer your question to the exact point. But on the reading aspect, you know, there's not a lot of peer-reviewed articles about keeping retics or large constrictors. When I was in college, I had to do a lot of peer-reviewed papers, and most people, unless you've gone to college, unless you've studied a lot of scientific research, you will not know how to read a peer-reviewed paper. Okay, now hold on, I'll answer that. what I'm saying is there's a lot. My whole point was there's public and private groups. The private listing on these groups in general, it doesn't have to be Retic Nation or whatever. They're still in the private, locked out, invite only groups. Facebook does not actually, it's not actually as private as you think. I am not going to say where I'm getting my information from, unfortunately, because it's part of our fight. But we have proven that HSUS are in private groups. They have got people, thousands, not couple, not hundreds, but thousands of people infiltrating every group. And you will never be able to distinguish them unless they get caught up or whatever. They make profiles, they make everything look legit, and they are taking screenshots, and it doesn't matter if your group is private, public, invite only, anything. And my point of the matter is, it's just what you say. So being public or private doesn't really matter, Devin. That was my point to this. You can have a lockdown group on Facebook and it doesn't matter. They're still watching.
I think, are we good? I think we been on for almost an hour and a half. I want to say again, please go support USARC if you can. Remember, we need to educate. We need to be policing ourselves. People who are supporting this channel, thank you so much. It means a lot. Please hit subscribe, hit the bell, share it. And I think that's about all I got. You good, Chip?
Yep.
All right, man. Thank everybody for tuning in, and we should be making another video soon. So we'll be talking to y'all later. Peace.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.